Yo, what's going on, man? Still in Haskins? Yeah, absolutely. So, what it looks like to me from all the information I've gathered is it looks like Mason Rudolph is going to start. Haskins is probably going to come in sometime in the second quarter. He's definitely going to play the 2-minute drill at the end of the first half, which is very inducive to a lot of passes, a lot of fantasy points. Hopefully they can get a score on that drive. And then he should play late into the third quarter, leaving Dobbs to play the rest of the game. So I'm all over Haskins. And then there was a report shortly. There was speculation throughout the week that Gilbert was going to play the entire first half or close to it. And then we kind of got confirmation on that a bit earlier. So, you know, Gilbert and Haskins are probably the two best skill position or positions outside of, you know, defenses on DraftKings. And then if you're playing on FanDuel, I think you kind of have to play both of those guys in cash games, at least. GPPs, I think that you are kind of in GPPs, you really are going to want to have like probably a wide receiver in that captain spot. But I will say this over under is down to 31.5. So playing a defense in the captain spot is pretty safe. It's very, very safe in cash games. But if you're captaining either Gilbert or you're captaining Haskins, I would make sure to have one or two of the receivers. But the thing is, with the two of them, I need to see if Ray McCloud is playing. He missed practice yesterday. I assume he doesn't play today. But the Steelers are super, super thin at wide receiver this game, just because you don't expect Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Juju to play all that much, if at all. And so that's why I'm really stacking up on the Steelers receivers, not as much on the Cowboys receivers. They have, like, I believe 10 receivers active in this game. And so you really are going to be lucky. Like, obviously, I like Malik Turner. I like Osiris when he plays with DiNucci, just because they have built such a rapport in the offseason and in training camp. But, I mean, you're really throwing darts with those guys. I think the Steelers guys are a lot better. Also, to mention, James Washington, if you read this article by The Athletic, if you guys are subscribers to The Athletic, it mentioned that James Washington could see work into the second half of this game. So if he's going to be the number one receiver for pretty much over a half, it's hard to not play him because he is pretty clearly going to be the best receiver on either side, assuming the star players aren't playing on the Steelers. No 4D energy. It's 3D, man. Cannot be jingling those chips. It's a habit, man. We're bringing that Olympic mojo over here. Let's get it, man. Yeah, last night was crazy for the Olympics. And, I was wrong. I thought we were going to see... Here, let me switch screens. I thought we were going to see just a couple showdown slates for the rest of the Olympics because there's only 2 games left. But they threw them into one slate. So that's great to see. Favorite Cowboys receiver? Probably Malik Turner. I think he has the most to play for. I also like... Jesus, blanking on his name right now. Simi Fehoko. I'm probably butchering his name. Simi Fehoko, rookie that they traded up for this year. And he's like 6'4". So obviously, if any of these guys score touchdowns, they're going to be in the optimal lineup, just with how low scoring these preseason showdown slates are. Favorite non-QB captain, James Washington, probably. Or Anthony Johnson. But I want to see what's going on with Ray McCloud. Have you guys seen any inactives? Balazs Love since he's fighting for that spot with no other running backs really. Well, I was on him until we got news that McFarland was for sure going to play. He was questionable as of yesterday, or he missed like at the end of practice. He was icing his, I believe it was his knee. Could have been his shoulder. One of the two. But I digress. He is good to go in this game. And it looks like Najee Harris is going to get some run today, at least a series. And there was reports that there was a chance that he could get 10 to 12 carries. Now, if I knew for a fact that he was getting 10 to 12 carries, I would be smashing him in my lineups. But I'm pretty skeptical on that. And I don't want to play him because I know other people are going to play him. And I think that's bad ownership right there. And I would rather be on the fade side of that. But, yeah, with McFarland playing, Najee playing, we could get a lot more guys in the rotation of the Steelers. So I'm not on Balazs as much. But I will admit, I mean, he is very capable receiver out of the backfield. So if he could get 1 or 2 catches, he'll be set. But just a general strategy for what I'm doing today, I'm playing Haskins. I'm playing a lot of Gilbert. I'm playing a lot of the defenses. And then you really want to focus on where they're thin at on each respective team. Because the Steelers, they're very, very thin in their wide receiver corps today. And the Cowboys are very, very thin at running back. So if you go with that general lineup construction with just focusing on those guys and you just mix and match them, I think you're in good shape today. You got to remember, like, people are going to play starters in this game and stuff. Like, people are going to play guys like CeeDee Lamb. He's not going to play Gallup. Like, people are going to play these players, and they're going to garner ownership. So if you play safe, it's pretty easy to cash these games out. McLeod won't play today. Okay, McLeod for sure out. Yeah, so then I'm all over Anthony Johnson still. I was pretty sure he was going to miss today. So Anthony Johnson is going to be pretty much the main guy in the slot today. And again, just to reiterate, the Steelers are super, super thin at wide receiver today. So Gentry and Malik Turner. I'll probably take my chance on Malik Turner. You know, Malik Turner is like a legit NFL player. Played for the Seahawks. Had actual game time and receptions and touchdowns in the regular season for the Seahawks. So he's fighting for that last roster spot. I could see him getting first couple of quarters of game time. Dowdle, best running back. Yeah, for he's like pretty clearly the best running back on the slate for me. Favorite Pitt receiver other than Jay Wash, Anthony Johnson. And then it's like it's a toss-up between Isaiah McCoy and Bussy. Dude, McCoy, I want to play him so bad. I'm only playing a couple of lineups today, so I'm not getting to him as much. But Isaiah McCoy, if you guys played college football DFS at all, when he played for Kent State, like, dude, this guy is an absolute monster. Huge upside. And especially with a low-scoring showdown slate, like this, like a 31.5 over-under, like he can break the slate with one big catch, and that's kind of what you're looking for. Bussy, I think, is a bit safer, as McCoy is an outside receiver, but I think both these guys get quite a bit of run. Yeah. Why no more Dowdle? I mean, I think Dowdle is fine. I mean, bro, like, we're really splitting hairs with some of these players. What it came down to me for was either I wanted to play Gilbert or Dowdle. Dowdle doesn't really catch the ball that much. So I would just rather bet on Gilbert getting something done in the first half than Dowdle, you know, probably splitting carries throughout the first half. I don't even know if he picks up a catch, and he's really going to need to get into the end zone, I think. But I still have him on FanDuel. I think he's like a very, very safe play. But it just came down to that. And I prefer the receivers on the Steelers to him. But Dowdle's still a great play. Can't decide between Dowdle and Turner. I think Dowdle's a lot safer than Turner. But if you're going for pure upside, maybe go with Turner. But Dowdle is far, far safer. I mean, dude, the Cowboys' depth chart is wild with receivers and tight ends. Like, they have a lot of guys that are going to be catching the ball. Captain Washington or Haskins for GPP? For GPP, probably Washington. If you had to choose one defense, who would you choose? Steelers for sure. Steelers for sure. Can't choose who to put at captain, Washington or Anthony Johnson. Probably Washington for me. Yeah, probably Washington. I mean, if the reports are true that he could and should be playing into the second half, I mean, like, he's a no-brainer play for me, especially at the captain spot. I mean, this is a good, like, regular season NFL receiver. If you guys are in here, make sure to subscribe, like the video. I'd really, really appreciate that. After the and if you guys are, we are playing the in-game showdowns. Now, I think that there is more edge in the in-game than this, like far more. You know how much I love in-game showdowns, but I already feel like I have a good grasp of what's going to happen in this game in terms of playing time. But like, people are gonna chase playing like these quarterbacks that start like Gilbert or Rudolph in the second half showdowns or the fourth quarter showdowns. And the contests are a lot bigger than what they were in the NBA. So, yeah, these in-game showdowns are going to be fun tonight. If you guys are a Patreon member, we're playing the second half, fourth quarter. So I'd reserve now if you're going to play, because those are probably going to fill up pretty soon. Quarterback, captain, or defense for cash games? Cash games, probably defense. I'd probably go Steelers defense. But I do feel very, very confident in Dwayne Haskins today. I think he's really going to sling it because they know what they have in Mason Rudolph. And Dwayne Haskins is really battling to get that second spot. And the fact that they are going to let him run the 2-minute offense, they're going to be he's going to be chucking. And if he has James Washington too, I mean, he has a decent receiver playing with him. So, and he has rushing upside. Yeah, I mean, the defense is still probably safer because if he doesn't get into the end zone, then the defense is probably going to outscore him. But personally, I'm playing Haskins in cash. So can you repeat ranking wide receivers for Pitt? Yeah, it's probably probably Washington, Johnson, McCoy, Bussy. The last two are really tough for me. Fehoko or Hardy for DK GPP? Probably Hardy. I think probably Hardy. You know, he can receive out of the backfield, and the running back room is a lot smaller than the wide receiver room for the Cowboys. And I think he gets a lot of burn in the second half. Would you mix up anything else that more upside for FanDuel GPP with Washington at MVP, get rid of Dowdle or Gilbert maybe? Yeah, if I was playing high upside over on FanDuel, like, I would get rid of Gilbert or McDowell and or Dowdle and get to another receiver like McCoy or Bussy over there. And then just really hope that Dwayne Haskins goes off, which I think is definitely fine. Can't play in-game showdowns in my state SMH. Yeah, that's tough. I wonder why that is. I really don't understand that. Favorite receiver on the slate? Probably Washington and then Anthony Johnson. Are you playing your normal amount? Are you playing lighter? Not sure what I should play since it's preseason. I'm playing normal amount. And honestly, like, I think if you're playing cash games for this, like, I would play more than normal in cash games in preseason. I think there's a lot more edge. And it's going to be the same in Summer League. Is there any indication who Haskins' favorite receiver is? I mean, I've seen a bunch of different things. Like, if you just look up Dwayne Haskins in training camp on Twitter, like, you'll see, like, big catches from McCoy, from Bussy, from Johnson. I mean, he really spreads it out. I don't think there's any one specific receiver out there. Interesting, Fehoko. I think Fehoko has insane upside. I really struggle to trust the target share. Would you run a 3-pit receiver or Dowdle? I'm fine with the 3-pit receiver thing, just because, especially on DraftKings. FanDuel, maybe not so much, just because it's half-point PPR. DraftKings, I'm for sure fine with it. I think it's fine, though. Is playing 5. I think the 3-pit receiver has more upside. I will say that. Because I think there's a chance that, yeah. If you're playing Haskins, I think he has more upside. Is playing 5 Steelers too many? No, I think it's fine. Feel like Haskins going to be under-owned? You think so? Huh. I mean, we'll see. It always surprises me, the ownership on some of these guys. Yeah, but I'll be watching this game, getting the in-game showdown lineups in, and then I'll probably come up with my Olympic basketball videos out sometime tonight. I feel like Haskins going to be... Oh, whoops, I just showed that. But yeah, I mean, the ownership is going to be pretty funny over here. Yeah, these Pitt receivers, man. Any advice for the second half showdown? I mean, I'll probably be talking about it a bit in the Discord, and then I'll have it on the Patreon, but it really just comes down to, like, what we see in the first half. But I will say, like, obviously, like, the starters, the players who start these games are probably not playing in the second half for the most part. We might want to focus a bit more on Dobbs. Dobbs captain will be pretty strong. And then we could see more receivers like Bussy and McCoy in the second half. I think they really do their thing back there. As well as like guys like Kalen Ballage and Hardy for the Cowboys. But it seems like, from what I heard, is that Gilbert's probably going to play like the whole first half. And then Cooper Rush and DiNucci are going to be playing... splitting the second half. So probably not on DiNucci and Cooper Rush as much in the second half. But I know that we're at least going to get a bit more than a quarter out of Dobbs in the second half. And he has rushing upside, so I do like him a good bit. And then in the fourth quarter, obviously Dobbs just like a great play. And then whatever quarterback we don't see play in the fourth quarter from the Cowboys, we'll play them in the fourth quarter as well. I think a lot of people are going Dobbs. Yeah, we'll see. The ownership on Dak is going to surprise me. Maybe at least 1%. Yeah, we'll see. It actually might be a bit more. It might be in like the 3% range. 3-4%. When's the video for the Canadian football site, dude? I don't know anything about Canadian football. Ask Bonesy, man. Bonesy's the man for CFL. Got a minute and a half left, guys. If you haven't locked in already, make sure to do so. Don't lock in a dead lineup. That would be not good. Still running same core from Patreon? Yep. Run Haskins and Dobbs. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised just because of the rushing upside of Dobbs if he could get into the optimal, I guess. But you're going to watch this game. It's more than likely going to be pretty miserable to watch. A lot of 3 and outs, a lot of running up the middle. Yeah. But that's why we play defenses. Both D's a lock? Yeah, I think both defenses are definitely a lock. Yeah, I've been playing NFL preseason for a long time on DraftKings, and defenses are always the move. And actually, kickers are usually the move, but as well as defenses. But it's a bit different on this specific showdown slate because, you know, we don't even have, because Zerline's out and they're having the backup or the punter kick field goals on DraftKings, but he's not even on the slate. And then they have 2 kickers on Pittsburgh, and they're splitting time. So it doesn't make it very viable to do that. Some people might have all QBs. Yeah. And at 31.5 over under, don't think that's very optimal. Show me some fumbles and sacks tonight. I mean, it is the preseason. We're probably going to see a lot of that. Man, over under 20 minutes till this game actually starts. Might have to take the over on that. Always seems to be pretty miserable. We've been spoiled by the Olympic basketball slates. They start literally on time every time. All right, guys. I'm going to head out. This was a pretty impromptu live stream. I wasn't even planning on doing this, but I know a couple of you guys wanted to ask some questions, so it's a lot easier for me to answer them in here than the Discord. But would you captain defenses in the in-game showdowns? I would consider it. I would definitely consider it. Definitely going to be playing them. Yeah, it's definitely viable. Definitely viable. I will say that. It's got to be a line with all running backs. Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. If you guys are in here, make sure to subscribe, like this video. Join the Discord. It is in the link or in the description below. Fastest growing community on the internet. Appreciate you guys being